Hello everyone, this is part 2 of the video. Let me make sure I'm recording. Yep. Alright. Hello everyone, this is part 2 of the video, and I'm going to be showing you another timing push. This is going to be another 3 racks, this time against a Protoss. I believe it's a fast expand, and I think he might have a 3 gateway. I can't remember exactly. We'll take a look at the replay, and we'll see what it is. Let's just jump right into the game real quick. This map, again, is on Metalopolis. I spawn as Terran and my opponent is Protoss, and as you can see, it's cross spawn. Speed this up to ×2. In case you didn't see my last video, a timing push is essentially whenever you push out whenever your army you feel is at its strongest. Typically, whenever an upgrade is finished, and then you push out immediately after the upgrade. It doesn't have to be an upgrade though. Like whenever you see the 2v2 maps are indicative of timing pushes because they tend to be so strong. When you have two good teammates and they both say do 2 gate like 10 pull or something like that, and then they push out and completely destroy your army, your defenses, and then push in through your base, and the game's over in like 8 minutes. That's a timing push, and that's a very good example of a timing push. And in 2v2s, they're very strong, and they're kind of easy to tell when it's a timing push because you just instantly lose. In 1v1s, it's kind of the same thing. 1v1 timing pushes are slightly different in how you execute them, but essentially the builds are the same, and they are almost just as effective, or they can be just as effective. As you can see here, I have my barracks rally to my marine. This is a really good strategy that I do not recommend anyone do. My SCV up here is going crazy too. So you can see that I'm scouting. I'm trying to see if he's doing any kind of equally cheesy things, just like I'm doing to him. And he's being a very good Protoss player by scouting his base for any. I don't know exactly, honestly. I'm not sure if there's a reason to scout against Terran. I could understand Protoss when he might have a proxy pylon, but it's still good practice. I don't mean to criticize him. And I'm not sure exactly what build he's doing. I'm not sure if I scouted the expansion. And that is a point that I would like to make. Whenever you do a timing push, make sure it's based off scouting. Don't just do it blindly. Have it be a reaction to what your opponent is doing. Whenever you see that they're going to fast expand, go ahead and do your timing push. Whenever you start the game and you see that your Zerg opponent has 6 pulled you, obviously you're going to need to hold off on that timing push and defend against that. And then maybe change up the rest of your plan. You could continue to do kind of a delayed timing push after you defend. So in this particular timing push, stim should be very near completed. Oh, there, it just completed just in. And also concussive shield. This is very strong against both Zerg and Protoss. Against Terran, it's a little bit different. Terran's, the matchup for whatever reason just feels a lot different. Well, I'm not sure how to describe it, but I do not feel safe doing this particular build against Terran. And I want to show you how effective it is against Protoss. Just because you lost your first push doesn't necessarily mean that you need to stop. In some cases, yes, you do, but I feel relatively good about this. And as you can see, I'm expanding behind the push, which I recommend for all of your timing pushes. Just do an expansion, just like he is, and continue to harass while hopefully losing minimal units. Whenever I first pushed out, this losses tab was actually in his favor, in the Protoss' favor. But then I had a slightly better control, I had reinforcements, and now he's about 700 minerals behind me, but he also has an expansion. Let's see. Yeah, he has far more workers than I do, 7 more workers, mining much more efficiently. And he's also got his 4 gas going, and I only have like 2.5 right now. So I'm ready to push out again. And I believe, yep, I've got the 2 engineering bays going. This is kind of a follow-up timing push. Obviously, the first follow-up is going to be my expansion down here. This is pretty normal. I always recommend this, just like I said. And then you can do kind of a secondary timing push by getting upgrades. And I should be getting 1-1. I think I was actually a little bit late in this particular game. I was hoping to get that pylon before those warped in. But either way, end up dropping the expansion. As you can see, I'm quite a bit ahead at this point. As I said in my last cast, StarCraft 2 is a game all about kind of numbers. It's very mathematical, and it's about timings and upgrades and health, health bars, things like that. I probably should not have pushed in there. That was me just being a little bit silly, I think. I should not have done that. And as you can see, I've got another force coming in. I just want to make sure that he does not have this expansion. I think I push up with this. Again, I should not have. I should have just expanded myself, which I do here pretty soon. Made him cancel some units. Oh, and I go after the Artosis pylon here, which severely delays him. As a Protoss player, I recommend always having at least 2 to 3 pylons, and as you can see, he counters by building 3 pylons. He's got 2 here, and he's going to put another one up here in just a moment. Now this player was very persistent, obviously. I recommend that you also be persistent in your games. Don't give up just because you think you're behind. Stay in the game, try to fight, and respond accordingly. And really, this individual player did very well. He got Storms, which is very, very good against Bio. He also got Sentries to Force Field. See, look at this. Look at how much damage this is. This is just so much damage. And now he tries to counterattack. While I'm putting up my 3rd expansion, I'm withdrawing my units right now. Okay, so I finally got 1-1, and hopefully we'll be getting 2-2 here pretty soon. I don't remember if I actually got that in this particular game. As you can see, I'm kind of waiting until I get my medevacs, and it's kind of a timing push. Normally when people think of timing pushes, they think of timing pushes from the very beginning of the game, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Timing pushes can be the start. They can start at any point. They don't have to be at the beginning of the game. They can start whenever, say, you get your 3rd expansion and then you push out. That could be considered a timing push, in my opinion. Obviously, he's going to do quite a bit of damage right here. Never do a base trade against a Terran player, but also at the same time, I should not have let him just go to work in my base. I kind of thought that maybe I could hold him off with just my supporting units here. That was not the case. He still has quite a few, so I have to withdraw my army. Really, I should have just withdrawn half of them, but I think I overestimated his. And then obviously I get back to work on building everything and repairing. You can see my money is very low, and also my workers, both of our workers, are very, very low right now. I'm still quite a bit ahead though, because I have 3 orbitals up. That's very well. That's really very, very good. And then I push out for the last little push right here. Whenever you do timing pushes, I recommend that you don't stretch yourself too thin by getting upgrades for both, say, in this example, I'm Terran. Don't get upgrades for both your Bio Army and your Mech Army. It's just way too much. By the time you get that Armory and upgrading the armor and attack on it, it's just way too expensive. Stick with one primary kind of force, whether it's going to be melee, like if you're Zerg, or ranged, also if you're Zerg, or if it's shield upgrade if you're Protoss, or something like that. Whenever you're doing a timing push, you want to be as efficient as possible, so don't get too crazy. Don't try to expand and tech up and make units at the same time. Timing pushes are all about being extremely efficient and attacking at the strongest possible moment, when you're at your strongest possible moment. and you can't be at your strongest possible moment when you're just spreading yourself too thin. So be mindful of that. Start out with a good, strong, solid, simple push, and just go from there. And I wish you the best of luck, and I will start my next video here pretty soon.